Plimsolls. These are some of the oldest sneakers still in production today. They first appeared in the 1830s when the Liverpool Rubber Company, a British firm, developed a light shoe for Victorian beachgoers who wanted something softer than leather boots on the sand. The name comes from the plimsoll line on a ship's hull because the rubber strip wrapping around the base of the shoe looks just like a waterline. Construction is simple. A canvas top glued to a rubber sole through heat with almost no internal padding. You can recognize them by the very low profile and the basic round eyelets. British schoolchildren wore them for PE lessons throughout the entire 20th century, and in the 1960s, mods adopted them as a clean, minimalist counter to heavy leather footwear. Brands like Dunlop Green Flash still sell the same basic design. High-top basketball sneakers. High-top basketball sneakers go back to 1917 when Marquis Converse released the All-Star in Massachusetts to support the new sport of basketball. These shoes have a canvas or leather shaft that rises above the ankle bone, which supposedly kept the ankle stable during fast lateral cuts on court. Two details became Converse signatures: the round patch on the inner side of each shoe and the thick rubber toe cap that protects the front of the foot. The tall silhouette paired with a flat rubber sole creates an elongated look that sets them apart from low-cut trainers. Off the court, the Ramones made them a punk uniform in the 1970s, and 1980s West Coast hip-hop turned them into a streetwear staple. Converse still sells the All-Star today, over a century later, with almost no changes to the original design. Performance running sneakers. The modern running shoe was born in the early 1970s in Eugene, Oregon, where track coach Bill Bowerman poured rubber into his wife's waffle iron to test a new grip pattern. That kitchen accident became the outsole of the first Nike trainer. Performance runners are built around weight and shock absorption, using light nylon or mesh uppers and a foam midsole that compresses under each step. The heel sits noticeably higher than the toe, and a hard plastic piece around the back of the heel keeps the foot stable during a stride. You can spot them by the layered synthetic panels and aggressive tread pattern. They became popular during the American jogging boom of the 1970s, alongside runners like Steve Prefontaine. And today, running shoes are a $100 billion global category, with models like the Nike Pegasus now in their 40th generation. Skate shoes. Purpose-built footwear for skateboarding first appeared in 1966 when the Van Doren Rubber Company opened in Anaheim, California, producing shoes designed specifically for grip on a board. They use thick suede or leather uppers and a rubber sole pressed on with heat, often with a waffle or herringbone pattern underneath for maximum board feel. The collar is heavily padded to protect the ankle, and the stitching is doubled up along the toe where the shoe rubs against grip tape during ollies. They are wider and flatter than runners, with oversized tongues and flat cotton laces. The Z-Boys, a group of teenage skaters from Santa Monica, rode Vans through the 1970s and made the brand famous. In the 1990s skate punk era pushed them into global fashion. The Vans Old School, released in 1977, is still the best-selling skate shoe ever made. Luxury sneakers. Sportswear crossed into high fashion for the first time in 1984 when Gucci released the Tennis 84, one of the first premium takes on an athletic silhouette. Unlike mass-market trainers, these are made with Italian calfskin leather, hand-stitched details, and rubber soles from specialist Italian factories like Margom. Cheap synthetics are avoided entirely, and the inside is usually lined with full leather and finished with waxed cotton laces. The look is deliberately plain: a slim profile, a small gold-stamped serial number, and no loud logos or sporty plastic parts. Common Projects launched their Achilles model in 2004 and set the template for what a modern luxury sneaker looks like, and today pairs routinely sell for $400 or more. They have become the default shoe for creative professionals and relaxed corporate offices where ties are gone but suits remain. Chunky dad sneakers. This style traces back to the late 1980s with the New Balance 990 series from Boston, originally built as serious performance footwear for long-distance runners. Construction layers pigskin suede with mesh and packs the midsole with cushioning systems like Absorb, a foam that compresses and springs back under pressure to absorb the shock of each step. The silhouette is deliberately overbuilt with a thick, sculpted sole and a wide base that prioritizes comfort over a sleek look. You can spot them by the muted gray tones, the detailed stitching, and the noticeably chunky sole. For decades, these were the quiet, sensible choice for suburban fathers and comfort seekers like Steve Jobs, who famously wore the same gray New Balance model for years. Around 2017, a younger generation rediscovered them, and the chunky dad sneaker became one of the defining looks of the normcore era that still dominates today.